This one is Dream Interpretation.
Welcome to Michelle's Opinions. As we are all waking up, we see the changes all around us, and we're growing into this new understanding of who we are. We learn that we are limitless. We share the tools for growth and better understanding. I have 17 years of experience and many tools in my toolbox that I want to share with you to help you to understand and teach you to be the sovereign being that you are. Welcome to the family, and I hope you enjoy this episode of Michelle's Opinions.
I'm going to be interpreting the dream for you guys.
Hey guys, welcome to Michelle's Opinions. On this one, oh my gosh, on this one I'm going to share a dream. This dream I had, not last night, but the night before, so let's catalog it. Today's the 14th, this is the 13th, so it would have been on the evening of the 12th.
I hope the sound's coming through okay.
12th, 13th. Actually, it
This
would have
is
been on
for patrons
12th
only.
because I
will not be
woke up, I
releasing
think,
this
at
on
11
YouTube.
o'clock on the 13th in the PM and stayed up until I interviewed Armor Up, and and then I went to sleep after that, and I just woke up a little while ago, and the dream is still weighing very heavy on my heart, so I'm going to share it with you guys. I picked up a bunch of images because I'm going to try and tell it like a story to the best of my ability of the sequence of events that I seen that happened in my dream. And I figured it would be probably the easiest way, and also this way I have a vlog of the dream that I had when I had it, so I can refer back to it, because a lot of the dreams I have come to pass. And as we know, the dreams that we have, the individual, the dreamer, is one that ultimately will get the interpretation of the dream. But we do get help, we get affirmations, we get synchronicities from other people. So yeah, comment and let me know what you're feeling, what's resonating with you as I'm sharing this dream with you. Okay, so let's go down, and
I'll be
image
stopping and
one.
pausing
I've got
in
them
certain
lined
areas.
out, so we should be able to see them really well. Okay.
Okay, let me explain what the shack is. Remember, guys, there was 3 homes that I believed were my parents' homes. Well, think about the blending of my parents would make me. And remember that there was a family or another home that actually came with me to this place, but did not come in. They observed it as the shack outside, as we know when we went in. So one of them was the chat forum. The chat forum group are the ones that they came with me as I started this adventure, but they are not staying with me throughout it. Many of them have fallen away, gotten upset, or things have went on there that are beyond my control. And all I'm doing is just putting out to the best of my ability, but that's okay. You know, things happen in life, and I still love them very dearly. So that represents that chat forum. Okay, so then that would be that family, and then the shack would be my YouTube channel. The other 2 homes would be Facebook and possibly Twitter or Patreon. So those are the homes that are represented here. And this one being the closest home that was to me is the YouTube, because I am the most active on YouTube, trying to get to know everybody and to wake people up to the divine within them. Okay, we'll keep going.
Let me do a little bit of background, and then I end up at this, up in the mountains type of a home. Now there's neighbors, but it was a kind of a shack-looking place from the outside. There's a common person that shows up in my dreams, and it's not that this person has anything to do with me in my life at this point, but it's representation of, of what this person stands for.
You're going to hear my husband's rolling cigarettes and the tap, tap, tap. And I'm not being electrocuted. Nothing's going on. It's just, he's just doing that. And if it is really, really bad, I will remake this for you guys. But just wanted to let you know what that sound is, because I think it's important to get this out to you guys.
And in this dream, I was with him and his family, and we were going our separate ways, and I said, well, and I had my own vehicle, so I'm really not understanding why they ended up bringing me, but they were with me when I was brought to this shack, cottage, and it was my parents' house, and I got this inner knowing that my parents have 3 homes. So, and this one was very close to where we were at. So this is the one that I went to. Now, when I walked into the home, it really looked run down. There was trees around it. Like I said, there was neighbors. And it was kind of almost hidden by trees. But the front looked similar to this, kind of run down. Okay. When I went inside the home, my parents were there, but they were getting ready to leave, and they said of course I could stay in their home. And this is what the home looked like inside.
And remember that I was viewing the home as a shack also. I need to change my perspective on myself. So this is pretty self-reflecting, that there is, I have much to offer, more than even I know, or how I was led to believe, or how I felt about it. Remember, guys, when I was out front with them, I was looking at it as a shack also. So maybe that group that I was calling family wasn't exactly the most healthy group for me to be around, if I was viewing myself as a shack, or that this outreach that I'm doing is a shack, where, in the dream it's trying to show me that no, it's going to touch many lives, and it's going to improve the quality of life for many people, and to keep going.
Had an indoor swimming pool. Everything was new and fine and beautiful and just absolutely perfect. So by looking at the outside, it did not represent what was going on in the inside. It was absolutely, there was nothing out of place. It was absolutely stunning. So my parents then left, and I was there, in this beautiful, almost seemed like a mansion. It was just absolutely gorgeous. So I grabbed my things that I had with me, and I went to go put them away. Well, the next thing that I noticed was a bunch of people, just, I don't even know where they came from, but they showed up there at my parents' house, and they were wanting all to use the restroom. I tell you, there must have been 20 to 30 people. I don't know where they came from. The front door was open though. And I did go and shut the front door. So I closed that off, and I dwindled the people out, and got everything back organized and everything inside the house. But while these people were in the house, I saw one of the
Okay, the people that came into the house to relieve themselves. There was actually, that means that I was allowing people to come in and defile the platform, to take it off track of what this is all about, which is to wake people up and to, know that the divine is within them, and that these very God given abilities that they are born with, to see each other as equals. I let many people come in and share, and I look at everybody as equals. I still do, but I have to acknowledge that not everybody is at the same awareness. Although we're all equal, we're not all ready to actually share what's going on with us. It's a long process. It has been for me. It's a refinement process, and I have to acknowledge that I cannot do the work for other people. They have to want it. They have to want to do it. And some people, and even people that were the ones that met me at the door, have tried to defile or stop or taint what I'm trying to do here, which is an outreach for the people. And I managed to shut the door and come to the understanding that, what we're doing here is something absolutely wonderful. And sometimes we have to leave certain things behind because they no longer serve. And I talk about that a lot in the videos that I have put out. So, we always need to be moving forward, and that's where we're heading with this group. And yeah, and so that's what those were the representations that had to do with me personally, that I needed to introspect, and I needed to really look at, reevaluate, make some changes, to make this place to reflect my heart's desire, what it is that I want for other people, and the importance in the message of equality and waking up to the divine, and taking responsibility for how we affect each other. And that's a big part of this. Some people want to live by the do what thou wilt, and they're not looking around themselves with the flower of life, and realizing what they're leaving in their wake. I see the importance in each and every one of us, whether awake or asleep, that we do this, and that we're in this process together, no matter what stage of waking or any. It's so important. The message is so important, but so is the responsibility that is taken, as we know that we are the ones creating what is going on in the outside world. Okay, so that's where it cuts off on self-reflection on the platforms that I've got going on. I'm barely even active on Twitter. I just barely started that. Same with Patreon. And I think that those would be combined into one. And the Facebook platform is another, like I said. And the people that were out front, those were the people from the chat forum. And it is just what it is. And, I need to acknowledge it, and I need to make the changes and make the adjustments to make this place wonderful, as you guys are supporting this endeavor. And I can't do it without you. I am doing the work to make it better, make it more pleasing to the eye, easier to follow along what's going on, so people can relax listen, and then seek from within and do the inner working for themselves. At this part, we switch over to something where I'm actually a participant in an event, and then I become the observer, and I'm going to tell you that this dream has some self-reflection and some prophetic in it. So I will continue on.
Things that I saw. Let's see where we at. This is 2. Let's go to number 3. So I can tell the story along with what's going on. I came across, while all these people were in the house, this cash box. And, you know, I found it interesting that when I found this cash box, it says dream time all over it. So, but the cash box was just stuffed with cash. And I got the impression it wasn't mine, or that, you know, with all of these people around, that I needed to get that put away. So, and it was in like a little lock box like this. It was very interesting. So, and the money wasn't fitting. I was like trying to shove it in there and just lock the box and put it away. Okay, so that popped up.
I'm sorry, this is still self-reflective. The cash box represents all of the people, the hidden people that I'm, you know, that are actually gleaning from this, and hiding them away from the people in there to defile the place is, I'm trying to protect them from falling into doctrines where somebody's putting themselves higher than them, or trying to, you know, go back into old paradigm thinking where we've got one leader in the front and everybody else follows. So the hiding them away, the hidden ones, the hidden people that are viewing and learning and gleaning, that could be suffering in silence at home as they're going through these changes, that are actually will find or are finding that this platform that you guys are helping me to provide is going to help these people, these hidden ones. And it's my job as putting out this platform to protect them, to protect these people from people that I bring onto this platform.
And then, let's see, okay, I took this image because of what the individual is wearing. It was actually, what I saw was he had to have been between 9 and 12 foot tall, a very well-built colored man. He was wearing a black trench coat like this, but he also had a chauffeur's hat on, like he was the driver. And so that's why I captured this image, just to show you. I'm trying to give some imagery behind what I seen, although it's not exactly what I seen. It helps me with describing the chain of events that happened in this dream. While all those people were in there, there was a woman that caught my eye. She had some scrapes on her, some bruises on her, and she came up to me and she told me that the guy that was there with her was trying to kill her. Now, the guy that was there with her was being driven by this 9 to 12 foot tall, very well built colored man dressed in this, you know, like limousine. He was very well dressed, professionally dressed, had a limo cap on. That's why I, you know, associate him with a driver, and a long black trench coat. So I went and I had a conversation with him, and I asked him for his information, because I said, if this is going on with her, you're driving him, why are you not doing anything to stop it? I mean, the guy was huge. I mean, he could have stopped anything. So I asked him for his information, And he said, well, since you're asking me, I have to give it to you. And he put it just like that. Since you're asking, I have to give it to you. And he gave me a 3-digit numerical, and then a 3-digit alphabetical, and then in the center, it was a dash at first, and then he says, no, actually it's a heart. It's supposed to be a heart. And then he changed the last 3 of the alphabetical that he was giving me. So what I want
to tell you guys that the heart I did not include on here, but it was a black heart. Black.
Look at with that is that he wasn't being honest with me, and it was plain to see that he was not being honest with me with what his actual job or intention is in this, being the driver of this man who is, where the woman came up with bruises and scrapes, telling me that someone's trying to kill her. Not cool. Okay. The next thing, now that's where I was a participant. The next part, I become an observer. Okay, so now I'm watching things. It started off in a vehicle, but then it changed into a train. And the large man with the limo cap and the trench coat was driving this train. And the man that was with him was sitting passenger. And the woman who said he was trying to kill her was like tied up in the front of the train in a way that as soon as they went by something, it would hit her. And I did something. I did something to try to protect her. Did something to try to protect her. And what happened, it was really weird because then like the engine is in the front, but then it ended up being a cargo car, ended up being in front of the engine. And like these wooden crates got in the way, which stopped it for her from getting hit, which would have been the end of it right there. And she was able to break free. Okay, well, it gets a little stranger here, because as she breaks free, wow, that was weird. As she breaks free, I hope you guys aren't hearing that whistling sound. I don't know what that is. Okay, as she breaks free, she starts going up like this brushy path. And then as she's going up this brushy path, I seen 2 separate teams. One was wearing one color, another was wearing another color. And they shot her dead. So although I tried to intercede on her behalf, it spared her for a moment, but then these other 2 teams just popped out and got her anyways. Well, then what happened was, and I'm an observer at this point, guys, remember, I saw the man get locked inside the train. Now
Okay, let me explain something to you guys. This is where it got real. I ended up seeing the people. The black man, the brunette woman that was in the house that was telling me about her wounds. And I suffered a huge case of deja vu when I was actually in the conversation with them. A bad situation came up and they were trying to figure out how to handle it. I gave a peaceful resolution to it, and I was told that I was not in control and that this other man was in control, and they were plotting malicious intentions towards another person behind their back. That's where I became the observer. So the interceding was the peaceful resolution that I put in place. But everybody has the right, as we know, we are all creating what's going on around us and how we affect one another. Even if you're having evil thoughts and bad thoughts about people, you will impact them. And the man that they were plotting against, or the could possibly be the man that was inside of the train, ended up in the hospital. Okay. Also, the woman that was tied to the front of the train is in hiding at this point and has had to change her identity because she has an ex-husband that tried to kill her who still wants to kill her. So she's in hiding. In the meantime, got tangled up with the situation where she's with a man that she's been with for 10 years, which would be the two groups of 5 wearing the different colors, which I didn't tell you guys before. One team was wearing yellow, the other was wearing red. It may be a sign that that relationship is not going to make it through this situation that has presented itself with her playing around with another person. But I'm an observer at this point, and the getting locked up inside the vehicle could be that one of these participants is going to actually go up the river, or you're in deep water now. These are terms that are used when somebody is in trouble, and they may actually be going to jail. And I'm watching this, guys. I am watching it play out in the natural right now before my eyes with people I'd never seen before in my life, that I saw in my dream, that I have now seen. And like I said, the deja vu took me for a tumble. Whether when we're having those deja vu feelings, if we are, shifting timelines or changing outcomes, is that the same black cat? Because that happens. We have no idea, and we're learning, and we're coming into our power. We're coming into our authority. So, and as we're realizing this and acknowledging it, we can change outcomes of things, but we can't interfere with other people's sovereignty. Okay? All right, let's continue.
Driver disappeared, but the man then became locked inside this train, and it almost converted to looking like a vehicle of some sort. Maybe it wasn't even a train anymore. The windows went up, and he was captured. He could not get out, and the vehicle continued on and went into the ocean. When it went into the ocean, it converted itself into some kind of a real sleek, smooth,
they got in deep water,
fast-moving transport vehicle. It was absolutely amazing. I watched it transform in front of my eyes. It was very, very fast moving, and again, this man was in there and he could not get out. And I'm watching as we're traveling it.
Also, vessels can represent us also. We can morph into different vessels, but going into the water and it was in deep, deep water. It was at the underneath the ocean, and it was going very, very quickly. But that means this, whatever happened, it put this person underwater very, very quickly, which could have been why one ended up in the hospital the next day, or within a couple days after they were plotting against him. We got to take account for how we affect other people and our strength. We are becoming stronger. We're becoming more powerful with the energies that are coming in, and we need to take responsibility and learn how to wield these very powers that we have within each and every one of us.
Just record speeds across the bottom of the ocean until we come in. This is the best capture. I know it's a sun. It's like a refracting of light, but it was like a big underground water base or something otherworldly. where this large vessel that this man was in was tiny, and it was being like controlled to come in and dock under this. And I'm watching all this transpire, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Well, inside, it was huge. This place was huge, and there was this formal dining room. Now this one's empty, but there was people in there. It was like the spouses and the family members of the one that I was paying attention to looked like it was possibly his wife. The man that was out, that was trying to kill this other lady, that it was his wife. There was big screen TVs in there where they were able to watch what was going on, and see what events transpired. And she was, just in tears. There was also these unusual big white bowls on each table. They were empty. Not sure what those were for. Now, I didn't see the man come in. That's where the dream cut off for me. When I woke up, I was pretty shook because it was very colorful, very vivid, and all these things that I saw were, oh my gosh, I mean, it was just amazing. I just,
about all the background noise.
I can't explain it any other way.
Okay. Let me pull up a nice image for you guys to look at. Okay. So that's what I've got. I've seen all the people. I've seen even the woman that was crying, that was in that underwater base that ended up, turning into, that formal dining room that had all those screens and everything, which could represent, people watching other people on YouTube, peeking into other people's lives and stuff, which, that's kind of what we do on YouTube is, we get our favorites, we watch our shows and things like that, and we get to know people that way. Now, a few things that, I want to explain is, with the heavy-hitting deja vu, I had a conversation with the woman this morning that could mean that we altered some timelines there, some jumps, and hopefully the outcome is going to be different, but it can't be from me. I can't change the outcome. It is all in their control. There's another male participant that looks similar to the male that the woman was saying was trying to kill her. Okay, so whether or not that is the one male that's going to end up going to jail, and the other one ended up, because they'll end up in deep water over what they're doing to other people. The world has a way, or the universe has a way of self-correcting itself, and coming back. What you put out will come back on you. And if you're putting out attacks towards other people, it will boomerang back. And usually it's 3, 5 to 7 times harder. But to listen to these two women and this man plot against this one man, then to see the black man, then to see this other man end up in the hospital, then to see that both of these women were the women I saw in my dream. I've never laid eyes on them before, never laid eyes on the black man before. I'm just blown away. So at this point, I'm an observer. That's the interpretation that I have for the dream that I had the other night. I've had another dream. I will video log it, or the same way that I did the other one. As in my naivete, I thought that everybody, if we're having dreams, that they're having prophetic dreams also, and we'll walk through what's going on. But most people look at their dreams as just being self-reflective. Now, there are self-reflective parts, but you've got to also be able to discern which ones are going to be events that are going to transpire in front of you that we have no control over. So, you know, my way of knowing the difference is I can't lift myself up off the ground. I can't fly. I can't glide. There's things I can't do when I am in these states of being an observer of something that is going to be a possible outcome if something isn't changed. I love you guys all so much. This one's only going to be shared on Patreon for my Patreon supporters. It's very personal, and I think, you know, by you guys being where you're at with me, it shows that you love me, that you care about the work that we're doing here, and that you are there to help support it and support the message that we're putting out and bringing everybody into their sovereignty and their self-awareness and the beauty and the divine that is within each and every one of us. Let's see, I'll turn that on and done.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of Michelle's Opinions. We're on this journey together. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You may want to bookmark this page. You can sponsor the channel for as little as a cup of coffee a month. But if you bookmark this page, we can continue on with the work there, free of charge, on their platform. I will see you soon. I love you all so much. Have a great day. Peace.